we doing, folks? It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. We're going to see how it goes today. Uh, we're back and we're having some technical difficulties. I mean, the app's been having some technical difficulties last couple of days. Let's see if it's working today. But how we doing, folks? It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, as I do on most days. Not every day, but most days. If I can adjust this. Okay, how's everybody doing? Houston, Texas. Here to talk to you about all things type 2 diabetes, all things insulin resistance. Is type 2 diabetes reversible? Do you have to have it for the rest of your life? These are the questions that we're going to answer. What is it? This is what we're going to uncover. What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? Insulin resistance. We're going to cover all of that on this live today. So how's everybody doing? When you're coming into the room, do me a favor and beep out that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes. Any questions that you got related to insulin resistance, man, holler at your boy. I got you. I'm going to answer all the questions because that's the thing. We're going to put insulin resistance to bed in 2026. If you don't know what insulin resistance is, or if you never even know that you are insulin resistant, or maybe the doctor say, hey, you got insulin resistance, but you're like, I don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? We're gonna uncover that today, and we're gonna bust some myths. We're gonna do some myth busting. So how's everybody doing? It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Do me a favor and double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Like I said before, well, I didn't say it, but let me say this. Type 2 diabetes is a very, very reversible condition. Appreciate the daily heartbeat. It can be reversed for most people. About 95% of the people, it can be reversed when it comes to type 2 diabetes. 95% of people, it can be reversed. So let me see if I can flip my camera around over here. I got another camera over here. Hold on, folks. I don't know how to flip my camera around over here. How's everybody doing, folks? I got two cameras, so let me see. Oh, here we go. Camera. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, we're good. Two cameras, folks. Good morning. Shout out to you. We're live everywhere. We're live across all the networks. So all the networks that you can imagine, we're live across all of those, right? We're across the world right now, right? So we're everywhere. You name it, we're there. So if you don't like the live setup on here, I'm live everywhere else. Shout out to you, Vanetta. How's everything going? But it's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, here to talk to you about all things reversing insulin resistance. Because yes, folks, insulin resistance can be reversed. Type 2 diabetes is not a disease that you got to have for the rest of your life, unless you choose to. If you choose to have it for the rest of your life, that's your choice, right? I'm going to say something very, very controversial, but it is true. When it comes to type 2 diabetes, just like it was for me, it is a personal choice. Type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. And it sucks to hear me say like, I probably lose a lot of people on that. But it's a personal choice, just like it was for me when I decided to reverse type 2 diabetes. You may get type 2 diabetes from, maybe it was due to some kind of medication or steroids or something like that. But at the end of the day, that's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, it is uh, something that you can do about it. Type 2 diabetes. Someone asked me, what is the difference between type 1 and type 2? Type 1 is an autoimmune condition that usually happens when you're very, very young. And your pancreas will get destroyed. The beta cells in your pancreas, the ones that produce insulin, will get destroyed by your immune system. So that's type 1. So as a result, you cannot produce any more insulin. So you're insulin dependent. You depend on insulin because it's a very, very important hormone, the most important hormone in the body. Type 2, on the other hand, is totally different. It's a dietary and lifestyle-driven condition. Typically, it's our fault, right? Typically, I told you it's a personal choice when it comes to type 2 diabetes. other than some kind of steroids or something like that, some kind of medication that caused it, it is due to your diet and lifestyle choices. So that's called being insulin resistant. It means you produce a whole hell of a lot of insulin, but your body cannot use it. You cannot use the insulin, right? Yaki Awaken. Shout out to my guy Yaki. I don't know him, but shout out to him, right? Yeah, I've seen his stuff. Pretty sure he's probably seen maybe some of my stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we cross paths down the road. But how we doing, folks? It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, here to talk to you about all things type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, gestational diabetes, pre-diabetes, anything related to insulin resistance, we're here to talk about today. So do me a favor, ask any questions that you got. Can you reverse type 2 diabetes? What should I be eating? Where does it come from? Here's where diabetes comes from. It comes from your lifestyle choices. In what specific areas? Well, stress management, activity levels, eating, and sleeping. Those are the 4 areas. And if you decide to drink alcohol, those are the 4 areas. 5 areas. We talk about alcohol. It's the 5th area. So stress management, stress is a monster. Stress can cause type 2 diabetes. Stress can cause high blood sugar, believe it or not. I used to think that was a joke, but it's serious. Activity or lack thereof of activity, that's going to cause your numbers to go wacky. Clean eating or lack thereof, or eating a bunch of crap is what I call it, right? If we're eating a bunch of crap, that's going to contribute to it. That's going to contribute heavily to it. And then finally, sleeping. Sleeping is the last area that we got to cover. So if you get these areas right, type 2 diabetes will cease to exist in your life. The point is, you got to get them right. A lot of people say, well, hey, listen, man, I've been eating good. I've been moving my body, but I still have type 2 diabetes. Well, define eating good, right? A lot of people say they eat good, but what does that actually mean? We got to dig into it. We got to dig into what clean eating is, because the answer is somewhere. If you have type 2 diabetes, the answer is in one of those areas: stress management, activity, eating, sleeping. The answer is one of theirs. We just got to dig into it and find out, do some iterations. It's called iterations. We got to do some iterations. If that wasn't working for you before, we're going to have to do some iterations. All right? But for my folks who are type 2 diabetics, we don't have to iterate anymore, because I already got the solution for you. The solution for insulin resistance in 2026 is going to be called the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. These are for folks who are protesting insulin resistance. So if you're protesting insulin resistance in 2026, you want to get on board and you want to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Over 450 people have done, by the way. These are serious folks who are seriously frustrated with insulin resistance. They're seriously frustrated with type 2 diabetes. They're seriously frustrated with high blood sugar. So these folks decided that they were going to go on a revolt. They decided that they were going to protest insulin resistance. They're seriously out there holding up their sign, like freaking protesting insulin resistance. It's crazy. I don't know if you've seen the scene, but it's crazy. It's crazy. So, all right, folks, any questions? All right, nobody's got any questions. You guys are quiet. So tap in with me and let me know where you're from. What city you're from, what state you're from, what country are you from. Tap in with me and let me know where you're from, what city you're from, what country you're from, what state you're from. If you're just joining us, we're here to talk to you about all things type 2 diabetes. And is it reversible? Can you reverse it? I know that it's reversible. How do I know it's reversible? It's because I reversed it myself. I'm going to show you real quick, and then we're going to get to the board, and we're going to start talking about all things insulin resistance. I'm going to show you that I reversed it. Let's see, Athens, Texas, the UK. Shout out to London. Shout out to Athens, Texas. Shout out to y'all, man. You guys are coming from across the world. Can I request up? I have questions about mine. Ask your questions, sure. I don't know what you mean. Can you request up? What does that mean? But ask your questions. Sure. Rhode Island here. Love the shirt. Thank you, Chris. South Texas. Shout out to South Texas. Here it is. Here it is. Before we get going, this is called insulin resistance, folks, right here. That was me back in 2019, 2020. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, you name it. That's it. 2 weeks before my diagnosis, by the way, I had no idea that I had type 2 diabetes when I took this picture. Or else I would not have been smiling like that. I would not have been smiling like that or otherwise. All right, you see here? 2 weeks before, that's the same week, same class I'm teaching. That's the next day. All right, diabetes, heart disease, obesity. I didn't know. I didn't know. Look at that. Now, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. I reversed it all. It's all gone, folks. It's all gone. It's just like this. You know how you do your hands like that? It's it. When it comes to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes in my life, it's like, threw it away. It's done. You know what I mean? Same thing can happen to you. Same thing can happen to you if you're struggling with that. But you gotta be willing to do the work though. There's work that's required. There's some dues you're gonna have to pay. Okay? There's some dudes you just ain't just gonna wake up one day and be like type 2 diabetes is gone. You ain't gonna just wake up one day and be boom, insulin resistance is gone. You ain't gonna just take a whole bunch of medications and metformins and all that stuff and you just wake up one day and it's gone. You're like, no, no, no. Metformin and all that stuff. I'm not a doctor. Shout out to the doctors. It's not medical advice, but metformin and all that stuff it's not going to actually fix the fix the insulin resistance. It's just going to cover up. It's just going to artificially lower your blood sugar. That's all it's doing. You're going to have to actually change what you're eating. The fuel that you're actually filling up on is what's causing it, right? The fuel source, not trying to mask it. My mom has high cholesterol and had 2 strokes. What are some things that we should do now to reverse it? Number one is shout out to your mom. But number one is I don't know how she's eating. She's got high cholesterol. Again, there's 4 areas that we talk about. So these are the pillars of health. Doesn't matter if it's high cholesterol. Well, insulin resistance is another way of high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all that stuff. Heart disease, like I said. Stress management. Let's manage her stress. Activity. Let's get her moving. Eating. That's the main thing. Clean eating. Clean up the eating. What are we eating? We were eating crap before is what I call it. Carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods. So let's eliminate that because that's the standard American diet. And number 2 is we got to replace it with real whole unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, whole grains and legumes, and leaner sources of protein, chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, tempeh. But the order in which you eat the food. The most important thing. So I'd start there. We got to start cleaning up her diet because that's what it is. Hang out with me and I'm going to show you how to do that. Chesapeake, Virginia. What are your thoughts on GLP-1? I just started Ozempic. You just started Ozempic. Okay, if that works for you, but fantastic. But for folks who, my clients, we don't use GLP-1. We use natural medicine. What's natural medicine? Is the food that you're eating. So what are my thoughts on the GLP-1? I think that it is your lifestyle first, medication second. You cannot fix it with your diet and lifestyle first, then we can talk about the medication. There have been people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This challenge I talk about, people are protesting, right? People are protesting against insulin resistance. There's been people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. They have gone back to their doctors, and their doctor, endocrinologist, took them off of the GLP-1, Ozempic, Manjaro, right? Metformin. These are not GLP-1s, metformin, but you know what I'm talking about. They're very common. And some other medication that we put in the name. And taken off of their medication by the doctor. That's in 14 days. That's in 14 days, folks. So my thoughts on those medications are lifestyle first. If you cannot fix it with that, which we can, fix it with the lifestyle first. You hang out with me and I'll show you how to maximize your lifestyle. There's been people who have lost 100 pounds in 6 months. They ain't take a GLP. Hanging out with me, 100 pounds in 6 months, 70 pounds in 5 months, 55 pounds in 4 months. Right? And these are people who they said that, you're obese, so you can't lose the weight. So if you've got a disease, well, why did he just lose 100 pounds in 6 months if it's a disease? Why did he lose 70 pounds in 6 months? In 5 months if it's a disease. You know what I mean? We ain't taking no GLP-1. We're talking about we're powered by real food. Let's see. Wants me on Manjaro to lower blood glucose, but weight is okay. How you lower your? I'm not your doctor. I cannot tell you to get on and get off your medicine. But how you really lower your? How you really get down to the root cause of it, based on the food that you're eating. That's what we're doing. That's what it's based on. The 14-day challenge. You see that? That's powered by real food. Powered by real food, right? I'll put the 14-day challenge up against anything, right? Anything that the medical industry has, any of those uh, medications that y'all named out, I'll put my 14-day challenge up against that. And I can confidently say that 14-day challenge will, I can bet the house on it, right? I bet the house, this house that I'm living in, I bet the house on it that my 14-day challenge will beat any of those other things in 14 days. Apples for apples. We go apples for apples. Put your dukes up, I'll put mine up. We're going to win 14 days. How you join the challenge? It's all linked in my bio, right? It's linked in my bio. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is. There's a lot of goodies on my page. So my bio is here. So if you click here, you click on my picture again, there's a lot of goodies on my page. Where's the 14 days? People are asking where it is. Here it is. I'll show you. I'll show you where all the goodies are. Then we'll get into the live. We'll get into what insulin resistance is. So if you click here, you click on my picture again. GLP-1 helped me fix my insulin resistance, and it went from an A1C to a 13 to a non-diabetic. I eat real food. Did it help you help you fix your insulin resistance, or did it artificially lower your blood sugar? What happens when you stop taking? What happens when you go back? That's the question. What happens when you stop taking the GLP-1 and then you go back? Right? That's what happens. That's the better question. But if you're eating real food, amazing, amazing. I love it. But here it is. Here it is. So if you click there, click on my picture again. That's where all the goodies are, folks. You go get all the good stuff here. All the goodies. There is a PDF, not a PDF, sorry. The Ultimate Veggie Guide. This is absolutely free. It's the Ultimate Veggie Guide. If you don't know what veggies to eat as a type 2 diabetic, you go grab the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's absolutely free, folks. All you got to pay is attention. That's my gift to you for joining my live. It's called the Ultimate Veggie Guide. There's a masterclass. There's a free masterclass, 45-minute masterclass, where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. But here it is, the big one right here. This is the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is the only one that I got to charge you for, folks, because it's real people getting real results in 14 days. I can't give you this one for free because you're not going to take it seriously. It's a challenge. It's designed to take you outside of your comfort zone. It's a challenge. All right? That's why it's called the challenge. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But if you do the work, you show up, you do the work, like everybody else has, 450 people have joined this challenge. You do the work, amazing results. People have been getting off, some have taken off of their medication, some have reduced their medication. Again, I'm not the doctor. I cannot take you off your medication. People are blowing their A1C by 2 points from an 8 to a 6, fasting blood sugar from over 500 down to 150 in 14 days, over 300 down to 85 in 14 days. You know what I mean? For the folks who are ready to take control of their blood sugar. I told you everything is free on the page. Quiz, this is the only one that I got to charge you for, the 14-day challenge, because it's real people getting real results. Normally, $99 to join the challenge, but the live discount code is Progress. Progress is the discount code, the live discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But again, it's only for folks who are serious. If you're not serious, like I said, and I respect that. A lot of people aren't ready for change quite yet, because that's serious change. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use the discount code Progress. You join it for $79. Is oats good for breakfast? No, it's not. How much does it cost? It's $79 if you use the discount code. Challenge accepted. Yes. Challenge accepted. So join the challenge. You use that discount. So your next steps are simple. If you accept the challenge, if you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, click that link in my bio and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. No, not 100. It's $100 if you don't put in. It's $99 if you don't put in the code. It says it right there. It'll tell you what the code is. Put the code in, and it'll drop it down to $79. The code is there. Progress. What happens when you stop supplements? Well, what do you mean supplements? Well, everybody needs supplements. You're probably going to diminish, right? Not diminish in a bad mean, but you're probably going to be missing some nutrients if you stop taking these supplements. What supplements are you taking? I recommend a methylated multivitamin. You start off with a methylated multivitamin. First, that's a good supplement to start off with. I just took my methylated multivitamin just a second ago, right? But that's where you want to start with a methylated multivitamin. Mm, all right. Any questions? No questions. All right. I'm taking it mainly for to protect my kidney. My mom had diabetes, then kidney disease. Okay. But here's what's happening whenever if that's what works for you. But here's what's happening whenever you're doing it, the GLP-1. You're manipulating your hormones. That's what it is. You're manipulating your hormone, your hunger hormone. And one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to manipulate your hormones, right? It's going to be, it's early right now, but mark my words. I'm not a doctor, this is, you know what I mean? But I'm just foreseeing what's going to happen. It's 10 years, 5, 10 years, 15, whatever, however many years go by, and they're going to come back in these reports and going to say, like, hey, were you on, you know how you see those commercials? Hey, were you on this GLP-1 during this time, and you got these kind of conditions, right? These guys, that's, you know what I mean? You know, see the asbestos commercial, like, hey, it's the asbestos. Were you in this building, such and such and such and such? So if the GLP-1 works for you, fantastic. My suggestion, my thought process is, why not get to the root cause of it? The root cause of it is the food that you're eating. Why not do that first? You do that first. You try the food. You fix it with the food. You even try my way. Like, you even try my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And maybe, and that still didn't work for you, which I know that that's not, because it's a proven system that over 450 people have done. So if you show up and do the work, you do it again the next day, you got to get the results. You know what I mean? Even if it didn't work for you, let's just say my challenge didn't work for you, which is impossible. Okay, lifestyle first. We tried everything. Then, okay, now we can talk about this. Medications. Let's try everything we can first before we go to something extreme. People think that what I'm saying is extreme. People think that what I say is extreme, like changing what you're eating. People think that that's extreme. But to manipulate your hormones with like some GLP-1s and all kinds of stuff that's called you lose fat, lose muscle, and manipulate your hormones, like, I think that's extreme. You know what I mean? But to each his own. Each his own. I just think your criticism of GLP-1 agonists apply to your. I just think your criticism of GLP-1 agonists apply to your multivitamin. I'm not sure what you mean. No, GLP-1 and a methylated multivitamin are two different things. A methylated multivitamin is an activated vitamin, activated supplements. That's it. Activated vitamin B. I mean A, K. You know what I mean? It's just activated. That's all it is. A GLP-1 is different. GLP-1 is take that little hormone inside of your gut and it will manipulate the hell out of it to say that to tell your brain that you're not hungry ever, like ever. It's a difference. GLP-1s aren't new. They've been around for treatment for 15 plus years. Yeah, you're right. They're not new, but they're just now hitting the mainstream. How to join? You click that link in my bio. So if you click here, you click on my picture again, and it will take you to that link in my bio. There's a lot of goodies on my page. There's the ultimate veggie guide is absolutely free, but for my folks who are ready for serious change, you got to the point where you said, I am protesting insulin resistance in 2026. Those are the folks who have joined the 14-day challenge. Over 450 people. Very small percentage of people. Out of all the people I talk to, only a small percentage of people will join the challenge because those are the people who are serious. It's not everybody is serious with it because they know that most people know that it takes work to reverse it from this. It takes work. You know, like people are like, nah, bro, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the work. It's a personal choice. Type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. Seems like you and I agree on food. Yeah. Shout out to you, West Roots. Food, West Sprouts. Food is what's ultimately going to have the end say, the say. Right? People who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is how powerful food is. In 14 days, some of these people have been taken off of their medication, GLP-1, all this stuff. And all we're doing is eating food. That's it. We're just protesting insulin resistance. What about hormone related? Yeah, insulin is a big hormone. Insulin, if insulin is thrown off, if you're insulin resistant, that's the biggest hormone. Yeah, that's the biggest hormone that's going to disrupt everything. Lifestyle and discipline, that's it. Obviously, they're different. You criticize GLP-1 because you have to take them forever. Yeah, you do have to take them forever, right? You have to take them forever. I was watching that Oprah thing the other day, Oprah and Serena, and then some guy came on there. He asked the doctor. He was like, "Hey, I lost a whole bunch of weight with this GLP-1. Lost like a ton of weight. I don't know how much weight he lost, but he's like real slim now." And but he asked the doctor. He was like, "Hey, well, how long do I have to take this?" Well, she gave some roundabout answer, some beat around the bush answer, but ultimately she said that you are going to have to take this GLP-1 for the rest of your life. And if you would have saw the look on his face when it went from optimistic to blank when she told him that, it was it was crazy. I was on that. Watch that episode with Oprah when she talked about Ozempic. Like it came out like a week or two ago with Serena Williams and all kinds of stuff. And watch the guy, and when he asked that question, you'll see his face go, whoo, blank. You don't think he's healthier for having lost all that weight? Here's the thing. Here's what he did lose. He lost all the weight, but he did it by manipulating his hormones. So then also, when you lose the weight, guess what happens? You lose the muscle as well. That's what happens. That's why you see people that are very, very slim now, like, oh, they're so slim and all of that stuff. But what happens if they stop taking the GLP-1? Then the weight comes back, like she told him. You're gonna have to take that for the rest of your life. So if he stops taking it, what's gonna happen? And he didn't change anything else. Guess what's gonna happen? The weight's gonna come back, minus the muscle, by the way. Minus the muscle. That's what's gonna happen. It's happened to. You can look at all the studies. That's what happens when people stop taking the GLP-1. What happens? Well, all this stuff comes back because they didn't change anything. They didn't change what the actual problem was. Stress management, activity, eating, sleeping. Like I told you before, there's been people 6 months. Some people who hang out with me 6 months. In 6 months, lost 100 pounds. Didn't take not one GLP-1. 100 pounds. 100 in 6 months. Not a single drop of GLP-1. All we did was change what they were eating, change what they did, change what how they're moving their body, stress, activity, all of that. Someone lost 70 pounds. 70 pounds in 5 months. No GLP-1. 55 pounds in 4 months. GLP-1. Matter of fact, she was just taken off of her insulin. She went back to her doctor when he lost 55 pounds. Her doctor officially is like, you're done with the insulin. It's done. No more insulin. Right? So, lifestyle first, medication second. You cannot fix it with diet and lifestyle first. Okay, cool. Why for life? Why you have to take it for life? Because you're just masking the symptoms. That's why you got to take it for life. You're not actually getting down to the root cause of it. You're just manipulating your hormones. So when you stop taking the GLP-1, your hormones start coming back. You start getting hungry and all that stuff. You're basically silencing hunger. When you take a GLP-1, you're silencing hunger. You're like, hunger, you shut the hell up. You shut up, hunger. You don't say a word. That's why people don't eat. That's why you lose the weight. Is OZ bad to take? OZ what? We're talking about Ozempic, right? Again, that's between you and your doctor. But what I can tell you is it should always be lifestyle first, medication second. I will put my 14-day challenge up against the OZ, and we win in 14 days. Little as 14 days. The people who have been taken off of their OZ after hanging out with me for 14 days in this 14-day challenge. Yeah, multivitamins, methylated multivitamins don't change. I don't know what you're trying to do with West Routes. No, methylated multivitamins don't change the actual problem either, right? It sounds like you're big on GLP-1. So if you're GLP-1 guy, hey, what I'm saying may not be jiving for you. I get it. I've lost over 100 pounds naturally and still suffer from type 2 diabetes. Well, it sounds like you probably still got a lot to go, right? You got a lot to go. Helping, losing the weight helps. Yes, that does help. Losing the weight helps. Absolutely. It helps. But is it the end all be all? There's people who are slim as hell. People who are slim as hell, and you never know that they had diabetes. They're slim. It's called tofu, thin outside, fat inside. So it doesn't matter. That's a big contributor, but there's more to it than that. So what do you have to do? Well, you have to show up, do the work, do it again the next day. You have to change what you're eating. You have to change from eating crap, is what I call it, carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods, to a cleaner source of fuel, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and whole grains and legumes, aka beans, and then leaner sources of protein, chicken, turkey, steak, fish, eggs. These are leaner sources of protein. You got to do that. That's what you got to do. That's step number one. If you don't do that, that step right there, that simple step, change from eating the crap to clean eating. Step number one, clean up your eating. If you do not do that, diabetes will persist. So what do you think about taking insulin? Well, we're going to talk about insulin right now. Here's the thing. Let me ask you this. Someone asked, what do you think about taking insulin? And I'm going to put it in an analogy. I'm going to ask you a question. If someone just got sunburned, would you tell them to go back into the sun? Would you be a pal and tell them to go back into the sun? We're going to answer that question, Marino. What do you think? Or if someone's an alcoholic, right? Would you be a pal and give them more alcohol? Yes or no? What is Ozempic bad? That's the question. I just told you what Ozempic is doing. You tell me if you think that's good or bad. Right? It's manipulating your hormones to say you're not hungry. Right? It's manipulating all of your hunger hormones and causing your digestive system to digest food very, 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 very slowly. Right? Causes you to lose the fat and the muscle all at the very same time. But when you stop taking the GLP-1, only the fat comes back. The muscle doesn't come back. So when all the fat comes back, guess what that makes you? Even more insulin, minus the muscle, that makes you even more insulin resistant. So you tell me, right? You tell me if it's good or bad. What do you think? Are there people who lose weight without it? Are there people who lose weight without what? The GLP-1? I just told you. Someone who hangs out with me in my program, follow my advice, 100 pounds in 6 months, 100 pounds down in 6 months. Someone else is 70 pounds down in 5 months, 55 pounds in 4 months. No GLP-1. All we eating is real food. That's it. That's it. Oh, Spotting Fact, shout out to you. All right, Wes Routes. Whatever you do, boss. Whatever you could be skeptical of me, whatever. You can't be skeptical of the people who come onto the show and they tell their story. They tell their story, what happened to them in 14 days. Right? It sounds like you are big on GLP-1. So if you're big on GLP-1, hey, knock yourself out. You know what I mean? Knock yourself out. Have a field day with it. Calorie deficit, build muscle, and balance meals. That's it. COVID was the cause of my type 2. Yeah, it's typically a lifestyle driven condition. But there are certain times when someone gets sick, like that, or when someone has steroids, right? Maybe the doctor prescribes them some steroids. And as a result, they become very, very insulin resistant. So COVID, yes. Be very, very, yeah, very, very possible. Shout out to you though. He's spitting facts. Thank you. Thank you. I want to hear your strategy on reversing insulin resistance. Well, my strategy is this. It is called the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Someone says, so GLP-1 is for life. Yes, it is. What's your advice? My advice is for folks who are seriously ready for change. If you are gotten to the point where change isn't just desired, where you've had insulin resistance for a very, very long, long time, my suggestion is for you to Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, which over 450 people have done. This is where you start. People are like, well, where do I start? Where do I start reversing insulin resistance? It's going to take you at least 3 months to reverse type 2 diabetes. At least 3 months. But you need to start somewhere. This 14 days is the start of that. All the meals are designed for you. So everything's designed for you. It's a system. So the meals are designed for you. The shopping list is designed for you. Um, how to eat, it's all designed for you. It's a strategy for 14 days. The most powerful strategy that there is when it comes to food. I created that, right? And I'm an engineer. I was an engineer before I was a nutritionist. So I understand how to design things that work. Okay? I just leave it at that. Trust me on that. I know how to design things that work. And if you show up for 14 days, at the end of those 14 days, you will say, it works. It works. Your blood sugar is going to get out of the danger zone and something a little bit more practical. For people who have 500, they were over 500 or 600. They joined the challenge after the challenge. Well, even they were at day 8. They were at a 151 on day 8. They started off at 500 and something. Day 8, they were at 150. The people who had joined the challenge over 300, 386 is where they started off at. By the time the challenge ends, 103. So this is my suggestion. This is where I would start. If you are struggling with insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, all of that stuff, anything related to erectile dysfunction, PCOS, type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar, your next steps are simple. Join the 14-day challenge. Use the discount code. Discount code PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge at 20% off. So that's my strategy. But we're gonna dive more into insulin resistance here in a second. But yeah. So GLP-1s are for life. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. If you do not change your lifestyle, because that's what it is, the weight's going to come roaring back. You lose a bunch of weight with a GLP-1 and you don't change your lifestyle, the weight's going to come roaring back like fierce lion. Doctor just started me on Ozempic, took me my first shot, feel like crap today, gonna discontinue. You're manipulating your hormones. Shout out to you though, but you're manipulating your hormones. So yeah, of course you're gonna feel like crap. You know what I mean? You're manipulating your hormones. We're eating in this 14-day challenge, all we're doing is eating food. We ain't manipulating anybody's hormones, right? This is all we're doing, real food. Powered by real food. We're not manipulating anybody's hormones. You're still eating. You still got to eat. So you eat, that's it. That's all we're doing is changing what you're eating. We're changing the order of what you're eating. By the end of those 14 days, you're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel like $1,000,000 freaking bucks. Is putting 100% work in, it is putting 100% work in changing our mindset and following. Thank you. Yes, you're right. That's it. That's what it's about, Luna. Luna Adventures. You got to change your mindset. You got to change your mindset. That's what it's all about. Because if you don't change your mindset, you're just going to keep doing what you've been doing. You're absolutely right. I have type 2. You have type 2, then your next steps are simple. And it's to join, and if you want to do something about it, let me say that, resilient. You got to name it resilient, so I know that you want to do something about it. You want to do something about it, that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is where you start. Does the challenge involve fasting? I'm going to teach you how to fast. It's 14 days. We're going to do a version of fasting, right? You got to train your body to fast. So we're going to train you to fast first. It's like a marathon. You can't just wake up one day being a couch potato, and then the next day you're running a marathon. You ain't gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. So you got to train for the marathon, right? So it's the same thing with fasting. Fasting is like that, running that marathon. You got to train for it. So we train you for a little while, so for some days, a certain amount of days, and then we shift over to start doing different things. All right. Fasting is one of those things. How much? It's $79 if you use the discount code. Progress. Progress is the discount code. It's linked in my bio. Click here. Click on my picture again. $79 if you use the discount code, the live discount code. Progress, 20% off, $79. Yo, where can I get that T-shirt? Oh man, I got so many shirts, bro. Just all you gotta do is it's 2026, man. All you gotta do is just type in T-shirts, bro. Like crazy wild T-shirts, like coming to America T-shirt. You got mad sites that you'll get. You know what I mean? It's 2026. So it's the World Wide Web, man. It's worldwide. What do I need to do to join? You need to click here, and then click on my picture again, and then go to that link in my description, in my bio, and then use the discount code PROGRESS for the 14-day challenge. That's what you need to do to join. Does it help with bad cholesterol too? Yes. Yes, because you want to know what cholesterol is? It's all due to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance, cholesterol. So you fix the insulin resistance, you fix the cholesterol, fix the blood sugar. I lower my here. I lower my cholesterol 100 points. I'm gonna show you. You want to see when I lower my cholesterol 100 points? Right here. 100 points I lowered it by. Between these two pictures right here, between these two pictures, I lowered my cholesterol 100 points. Between those two pictures. So yes. So I had heart disease, I was obese, and I had type 2 diabetes. I had all three, folks. I had all three of them. It wasn't the insulin resistance or the type 2 diabetes. It was for the heart disease that was kicking my butt. You know what I mean? That was what was kicking my butt. So if any of those conditions are kicking your butt, like it was kicking my butt in the 14-day, that's why I designed the 14-day challenge. I designed it specifically for folks like you. Folks, I'm telling you, when this thing hits the market, this 14-day hits the market, nobody knows me yet, okay? But when this thing hits the market for type 2 diabetes, I'll put it to you this way. I'll put it to you this way. If everybody who had type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge across the world for 14 days, we shut the whole, you want to know what happened? We shut the pharmaceutical industry down, right? It will be shut down. It will be shut down. That's a bold statement to say, but I know it to be true because I designed it, and I'm an engineer. And engineers, we fix things. Trust me, we fix things. I stopped processed foods and worked out an hour a day and was off metformin in 3 months. Shout out to you. We've tried to help people with diet and exercise for years. Obesity keeps getting worse. Well, that's because they haven't met me. West Strouts. I'm gonna make a believer out of you, but it's all good. I don't have to make a believer out of you. But what I got here, this 14-day challenge is the most revolutionary thing that there is. I promise you that. It's one of those light bulb types of moments. Thomas Edison, remember he created the light bulb? Ding! That's what this 14-day challenge is. It is the light bulb for people with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. What kind of diet plan do you follow? Clean eating. I don't follow a diet plan. I just eat clean. Clean eating. Real whole unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, whole grains and legumes, aka beans, and then leaner sources of protein. So whichever one you choose, so whether it be chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, whatever, tofu, tempeh, just make sure it's the leaner source. So it's just clean eating. That's what I practice, clean eating. I don't practice a certain diet. You know, I don't practice keto, carnivore. You know what I mean? I don't practice any of that. It's clean eating. How can I get the 14-day challenge? If you click here, and then you click on my picture again, then we're gonna get up on the board and we're gonna talk all things insulin resistance. How do you eliminate, what is insulin resistance? Shout out to you. Shout out to you for doing that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Your life's never gonna be the same. So shout out to you. Check your email, check your text messages. If you're in the US, you'll get a text message and you'll get email. But if you're in the UK or if you're in a different country, you're gonna get some email. So you're not gonna get the text message, but you'll get the email. So check your email. Shout out to you. Here it is, Medical Medium. Yeah, shout out to my guy, Medical Medium. Great dude. Got great information. If you reverse your diabetes, listen to him. Shout out to you. But here it is. Here it is right here. This is where all the goodies are, folks. There is the Ultimate Veggie Guide right here. It's absolutely free. What veggie should I be eating? All good right there. Go grab that. My gift to you. But the 14-day challenge is here. This one is for my folks who are ready for serious change. Like someone just joined the challenge, they're ready for serious change. They're wanting to be one. They're ready to be one of these protesters outside of the freaking medical industry. Like hell no, insulin resistance, you gotta go. That's what they're holding up their sign saying. Insulin resistance, you gotta go. People who join the 14-day challenge. So here it is. That's what it is. Normally $99 to join that challenge, but if you use the discount code Progress. Progress is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off. $79 to join that challenge, right? Where you're not going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days, but here's what you're going to do. You're going to put it on freaking notice. You're going to put it on serious notice. You know how you put an eviction notice on like somebody's door, like you're getting ready to get evicted if you don't get up. You got this is your notice. We're putting you on notice. That's what it's like when you join this challenge. Nobody's muting you. I didn't mute you, West Rouse. Maybe my moderator did, but I didn't. You know what I mean? You can come and say whatever you. If you're a GLP-1 supporter, fantastic, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. After blood work, I got pre-diabetic and high cholesterol. Starts today. Water fast for 72 hours. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let me know how that works for you. How do I get it? Click here, click on my picture again. Do me a favor, folks, and double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that's struggling with pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, all of that. I cured my diabetes with medical media. Yeah, shout out to you. I went from an 11.9 A1C to a 5.5. Shout out to you. How do I join the program? Just diagnosed as a 6.7. Alex, click here, click on my picture again. Link in my bio. Use the discount code Progress. $79 to join the challenge. We agreed diet and exercise is really important. Why not both? Why not medications plus diet plus exercise? Because West Sprouts, I think here's the West Sprouts. Here's the thing. I think medication is very, very, very important. I'll just leave it at this. And maybe this will end the debate between you and I. I think medication is very, very important. That's my stand on medication. Keyword though, watch this. If, if you need it. If you need it. Keyword is if. If you need it. And when it comes to type 2 diabetes and weight loss and all that stuff, most people don't need it. All the medications and all that stuff, don't need it. No, what they need, you don't have a metformin deficiency. You don't have an Ozempic deficiency. You don't have a Mounjaro deficiency. No, no, no. What you have a deficiency in is eating real, whole, unprocessed foods, most of, in the right way. What you have a deficiency in is not managing your stress properly. What you have a deficiency in is not moving your body and not sleeping well and eating again. The answer is in there somewhere. Like I told you before, there's been people who've lost 100 pounds following my program for 6 months. 100 pounds they lost in 6 months. They didn't take no GLP-1 because they did the lifestyle first. Like I said, I think medication is very, very important if you need it. And most people don't need it. They just need to do what they got to do. And most people don't want to do that because it takes work. So that's my thoughts on GLP-1, all of that stuff, right? Medications and all that. Yeah, when I did all that stuff, I had to do the work, man. I had to do the work in 2021. Yeah, it was tough. Getting up every day and doing the work, eating, doing the right thing every single day. Yeah, it was tough, but I did it. Just join. Shout out to you, Luna, for joining that challenge. Shout out to you. I'm type 2. Shout out to you. Like I said, check your email, check your life. Your life is never going to be the same. I'm a type 2. If you're a type 2 diabetic, your next steps are simple. It is to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. full-blown diabetics, can the 14-day challenge help? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's been people who are full-blown diabetic, as you say. There are people who have had their A1C at an 8, and then 2 weeks later, they go back and check it again, 6.5. 2 weeks later, a 6. There's even someone who's 80 years old who's doing the challenge. She's the one who dropped her A1C, went back to her doctor from an 8 to a 6.5 in 14 days. She's 80. You know what I'm saying? So age doesn't matter. How long you've had Ken had diabetes, has had diabetes for 30 years. He's doing the 14-day challenge, and he's 74 years old. He dropped his fasting blood sugar by 120 points. The average, 120 points. He's had diabetes for 30 years. Always over the 200s. Always. Not anymore. So yes, that's who it's designed for. It's designed for people with type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, insulin resistance. That's who it's designed for. It's designed for you. I went from a 15.3 to a 5.3 in 7 months with no insulin injection. Shout out to you, CJ. Shout out to you. That's an amazing. That's an amazing. I'm a type 2 diabetic. What is the 14-day challenge and where can I find it? The 14-day challenge is for my type 2 diabetics, for my pre-diabetics, for my folks who have said that they are protesting insulin resistance in 2026. They're done with insulin resistance. It is a nutrition blueprint designed by me, guy who had diabetes, heart disease, and I was obese. I don't have any of those anymore. I designed a nutrition blueprint. It says if you show up, do the work, do it again the next day, you are going to get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. You want to know more about it? It's linked in my bio. So if you click here, click on my picture again, it's going to take you to that link in my bio. You'll see the 14-day challenge. Click that link in my bio. You want to join the challenge? You use that discount code PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code to join the challenge. There's a lot of freebies as well, but the challenge is the only thing that I got to charge you for. $79 to join that challenge when you are ready. Just join. So what's the challenge? I'm ready. Yeah, so that's the challenge. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for my folks who are ready for serious change. You're not. When it comes to insulin resistance, not everybody's ready for serious change. Not everybody is. A lot of people say that they are, but they're not. You know what I mean? Because it's going to take some work. And this is the work that I'm going to get up on the board and I'm going to show you what's happening inside of your body. What does the 14-day challenge entail, for example? Is it just exercise? It's not. No, it's not exercise. It's a food challenge. It's a nutrition challenge. That's where we start. There's so many areas of life that we can talk about exercise and all that and stress and all that stuff. But 14 days is very, very specific. Very, very specific for 14 days. You're cleaning up your eating. And you're going to eat in a very, very strategic way. Very, very strategic. What are we eating? We're going to eat these foods in a very strategic way. Write the foods down. Here it is. Vegetables, nuts and seeds, legumes, aka beans, and leaner sources of protein. So it would be chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, tempeh for my plant-based folks. These are the foods that we're going to be eating. But I'm just going to teach you how to eat it in a very, very strategic way. In a very, it's why it's 14 days. I told you that. I'm an engineer. I do things very, very strategically. It's how my mind thinks. So for 14 days, we're going to be very, very strategic. And at the end of those 14 days, you're going to look at your blood sugar and you're going to be like, you're going to think that it's somebody else's blood sugar. No, but it's going to be yours. It's yours. That's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's all nutrition. 14 days, we're just concentrating on what you're eating. Cold potatoes and rice are a way to go. That you're trying to turn them into a resistant starch. Yeah. You can turn potatoes and rice into a resistant starch. Yeah. Very good. Insulin resistant starches works wonders. How do I sign up? So if you click here, you click on my picture again. Let's get up to the board. So if you click there, click on my picture again. It's going to take you to my page. Let me lift this up because we're getting ready to get on the board, folks. Do me a favor, folks. Put the word in. I got two cameras, so put the word insulin resistance in the chat. Insulin resistance. Oh, someone's asking me after the discount code is progress. So if you click here, click on my picture again, it will take you to that link in my bio with the 14-day challenge. Use the discount code progress. progress is the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. So, I've been waiting for this. What you been waiting on? This insulin resistance had a lot of questions. Got to get through the questions first, but let's talk all things insulin resistance right now, folks. But let's see. Okay, folks, who can tell me? So if you just joined us, my bad. If you just joined us, let me introduce myself. My name is Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Talk about all things pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, all of that stuff. Why do I talk about that? Well, it's because I reverse insulin resistance. I reverse type 2 diabetes. I reverse heart disease. I'm no longer obese. I lost all the weight naturally. So now my job is to help you do the same. Because if I did it, then again, why the hell can't you do it? You know what I mean? Why can't you do it? So what I did is I created the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That is for my folks who are seriously ready for change. That's what I did. That is the people like, well, what's the start? What's the solution? And all, where do I start? You start here. You start with the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is a nutrition blueprint designed by me. Those who had diabetes, heart disease, and all that stuff. No one will have any of that. I put it into everything that I did, and I put it in the 14 days. The first, where do I start? Put it in the 14 days. It's a system. Very, very strategic. All you got to do is show up, do the work, do it again the next day. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. At the end of those 14 days, your life will never look the same. So here we go. You want to join the challenge? Use the discount code progress, 20% off. So let's get into it. Insulin resistance, folks. Folks, who can tell me what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat junk food? Whenever you eat junk food, who can tell me what happens to your blood sugar? Whenever you eat, let's say carbohydrate, ultra-processed carbohydrates, junk food, what happens to your blood sugar, folks? Who can tell me? We're going to put insulin resistance to bed right now. There's going to be no more insulin resistance talk after this conversation because we're done with it. X-ray, you're talking about ED, you having some trouble with ED? Yeah. Insulin resistance is the cause of ED, erectile dysfunction. Yes. You're on the right track. Yes, it spikes. It spikes. That's what happens. So when you eat food, specifically junk food, it's going to cause your blood sugar to spike, as someone said. That is going to cause your body to do what? Break all that stuff apart, and then those particles are going to go into your bloodstream everywhere. That donut, if you just ate a donut, that donut is going to be broken apart, and that stuff is just going to be free flowing everywhere across your bloodstream. So that's called glucose. Folks, who can tell me what is type 2 diabetes? If you can put your finger on it, we're going to come back to this, but if you can put your finger on it, if you've had type 2 diabetes for many years or insulin resistance for many years, what it would be the definition in like the most layman's terms possible? The most layman, to like explain it to like a 3-year-old. What is type 2 diabetes? So put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. We're going to put this whole insulin resistance thing to bed right now. Overindulge. An adult needs meds to help control glucose. An adult that needs meds to help control glucose. Okay. Overindulgence that caught up with you. Okay. Overindulgence that caught up with you. Okay. I have insulin resistance. I have had that my whole life. Okay. Yeah. Your whole life, like how long your whole life? Like since you were born your whole life? Because that's, are you a type 1 diabetic? Are you a type 1 diabetic? Inability to process carbs. That's it. Maybe you've been on my live before. That's it. Use the big word, inability. But here's what type 2 diabetes is, folks, in the most layman's terms possible. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. Okay? Your body's inability to properly handle or manage energy. So think of it. Just remember that. Since I can't remember because I was so much without getting a diaper. Okay. All right. So you're type 1 or type 2 diabetic? That would be a better question. Okay, so let's get into it, folks. You eat junk food, it turns into glucose in your bloodstream. Glucose is energy. Your pancreas will notice this, and then pancreas will send out little soldiers, folks. It'll send out some little soldiers. Those are known as insulin. You've got these little cells inside of your pancreas, and those are called beta cells. Beta cells will release insulin because it notices that there is some glucose, aka energy, in the bloodstream. How can you schedule a meeting with me? Same thing on my page, right? Linked up. You go to my page there, you can see it. It'll say schedule a call. Link to my bio. So your pancreas will release insulin. What is the job of insulin? Who knows the job of insulin, folks? You know the job of insulin. This is the next step of the process. Who knows what the job of insulin is? We talked about what type 2 diabetes is. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy, right? But who knows what the job of insulin is in this whole process right here? Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're quite welcome. What's the job of insulin, folks? Okay. A lot of folks on here with insulin resistance. I know we know what the job of insulin is. Open your cells. That's it. Open your cells. The insulin job is to open the cells. It's the key to unlock. So insulin will come and it will attach to one of these receptors. These are receptors on the outside of the cell, and it will attach itself to the receptor, and it will say, "Cell, open up. Open up, cell," so that the glucose, the energy, you see I'm doing energy in quotes, right? The energy can get into your cells, and then you can have, energy, right? You see how I'm moving them out? This is all due to glucose, and in that relationship between glucose and energy, right? This is how I'm able to, woo! See that? That's energy, right? I got a lot of it. It's because the glucose is able to get into my cell, so that's what's supposed to happen. And then you're just supposed to go about your normal life, and then that's where it's supposed to stop. That's where it's supposed to stop. And then you just go back, and you're supposed to eat food, turn into glucose, pancreas, insulin, that whole scenario. So that's where it's supposed. That's how it's supposed to work. But what happens when you become insulin resistant? Here's where the problems start, folks. Your cells will start to resist the insulin. But the question is, why are the cells resisting the insulin, folks? Well, the cells are resisting the insulin because 2 reasons. Number 1, the cells are already full. You see, they're already full, right? What are they full of? What do you think the cells are full of already? What are they full of? These things are full. What are the cells full of? That's the question. The cells are filled with, sugar, glucose, blood sugar, energy, right? Sugar, energy. The cells are already full of energy. They're already full. So they are telling the insulin comes to knock on the door to open up the cell, and the cell says, "No, bro, we're already full. Like, you guys can keep it moving." And number 1, we're full, and then number 2, you keep coming around here too much. The cells are telling insulin, like, "Yo, you keep coming around here too much. Stop it, for real." So the cells will start to resist even more. The cells will become even more renegade. They're like, "Yo, insulin, get out of here." Right? So then the pancreas hears that the cells are not letting the insulin open the door, so the pancreas gets pissed off. The pancreas is like, "Yo, we already got a lot of, we still got too much energy in the bloodstream." Let's just say if your blood sugar is at 400. Your blood sugar is at 400, you still got a lot of energy in your bloodstream, so your pancreas is like, "Well, we got to get the energy in the cells, right?" So the pancreas starts pumping harder. The pancreas starts pumping even harder and harder. They're pumping more insulin. The beta cells are like rocking at this point. It's like a concert. You ever see a concert when the concert, like, that concert is freaking rocking? Like, this is what your pancreas is doing. It starts rocking, and it starts like freaking sending out more and more insulin to try to bust down the door of the cell. Like, we're knocking, but the cell is not listening. So the insulin and the pancreas is like, "Well, we're going to send the big bad wolf to huff and puff and blow your freaking house down." That's what's happening. So that's why you gotta have more and more. It gets so bad that you gotta get eventually you gotta get a third party insulin. Right here, you gotta get third party insulin. So when you go to the doctor and you go to your doctor and you get prescribed insulin, this is the reason that you get prescribed insulin. Because you're bringing in third parties, you're bringing in more reinforcement to try to bust the door of the cell down. So eventually, insulin is very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful hormone. It's the most powerful hormone that there is in your body. So your cells will eventually give in. They'll cave in. Like, damn, insulin, But as time goes by, those cells are going to start eating. They're going to start getting stronger and start resisting insulin even more. So here's what happens next. Insulin is also a fat storage hormone. It tells you to store fat. You can't lose the weight. Why you can't? Who can't lose the weight? You can't lose the weight. Put a me in the chat. If you can't lose the weight, no matter how hard you try, you can't lose the weight. Put a me in the chat, folks. Question: I'm gonna purchase the guide this Friday, but what comes in is and how does it work? It is a nutrition blueprint. It's digital, right? It's a digital masterpiece. What comes with it is the community, right? You join, you get all of the instructions on what to do, and you also get a community as well. Community of folks just like you. I just created a community of folks just like you. So you can come in and ask questions. Hey, this is going on. People are going through the same process that you're doing. It's all digital. You do it on your phone. You do it on your. You can take it with you everywhere, right? You just got to show up, do the work, do it again the next time. Digital masterpiece. That's all. Okay. Me. I appreciate you answering. Looking forward to it. Shout out to you. You said discount code for progress. So folks, yeah, me. People having issues losing weight. Why are you having issues losing weight? Well, you're having issues if you're type 2 diabetes. Ben, well, you're having issues losing weight because you've got too much insulin. Hyperinsulinemia, right? It's a fancy way of saying you got too much insulin. So you store fat. So the glucose has to go somewhere in the energy, so it gets stored as fat. So that's why you start gaining weight. That's the point of fat, folks. Fat is not, out of contrary to popular belief, fat is not there to make you look good. You know what I mean? it's not there to make you look good. What it's there for is your reserve energy. That's fat is just stored energy. That's all it is. When you think of fat, you think of stored energy. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's a pantry full of energy. So that's why you store fat. So that's insulin's job. Insulin's got a lot of jobs, but to open the door of the cell is to tell you to store fat. It's got a lot of jobs. It's got like 1,000 jobs. Insulin. But these are some of the main ones. So okay. So now you can't lose the weight no matter what you've done. You can't lose the weight because you got high insulin. It's the most impossible thing in the world to do, to try to lose weight and have high insulin levels at the same time. It's like it's impossible, folks. You know what I'm saying? Okay, next thing is, remember what we said. Who can tell me what the definition of type 2 diabetes is? Remember what we said it was? What was the definition that I gave earlier? Anybody give it to me? Give me the definition of what type 2 diabetes is. Who remembers? Who remembers, folks? Who remembers what type 2 diabetes was? Nobody? Okay. Where do I start? You start with 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You click here, click on my picture again, use the discount code. You click that link to my bio, use the discount code progress. That's when you start. Yep. There it is. Inability to process carbohydrates. Your body's inability to properly manage the process energy. Type 2 diabetes, in the simplest terms that you can do, whatever it is your body's inability to properly manage energy. So, folks, who gets tired? Put me in the chat, and maybe you get tired. Maybe you get hungry, or maybe you get cravings, right? Put me in the chat. If you get in, maybe you get all three. If you get all three, put all three in there, right? Put three in there. You get tired, maybe. Maybe you get hungry. You know, man, maybe you get cravings. Put me in the chat. take care of the insulin resistance part. We can help you with the insulin resistance. With the type 2, we got you on that one, right? This is where you want to hang out. You want to join the protest. Join the protest. This is the protest right here. We're protesting against insulin resistance right here with this blood sugar reset challenge. But folks, I need to sleep after I eat, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. The reason that you get tired, folks, is because you got to think about what type 2 diabetes is. It is your body's inability to process energy. So the reason that you get tired is because you don't have any energy. So you go to sleep. It only makes logical sense, you would think, right? So then, okay, well, why do you get hungry then, Kelly? Well, you get hungry for the exact same reason that you get tired. It's because your body knows that it gets energy from food. That's where you get food. That's why you eat, right? To get energy. So that's why you get hungry 90 minutes later. Because your body, you can't use the food that you just ate. You basically, if you got high insulin, you basically just told your body to put that food away that you just ate to store it as fat. To store it in the meantime. We'll come back for it later when we need it. So immediately, when you store fat, you feel hungry again. Feel hungry again immediately. Crazy, right? Crazy word. Okay. Who can tell me what kind of cravings do you get? I get hungry when I eat. How do I join? Click that link in my bio. What do you do after the 14 days? You go beyond the challenge. You go beyond the challenge, right? Beyond the challenge is another 8 weeks. Another 8 weeks of hanging out with me. But the challenge is, it's one time, right? It's one time. You join the challenge one time, 79. You got access to the community. You're in the community. You can go in and ask questions, all types of stuff. You can reach out to me. I'm in there. Everything that you need is right there. All you got to do is show up. Do the work. All the meal plans are there, the recipes. It's all structured for you. Over 450 people have joined the challenge. All you got to do is show up and do the work. Do it for the next day. But after the challenge starts, beyond the challenge, another 8 weeks to hang out with your boy. At least 8 more weeks. Sugar and salt. Yeah, you start craving, right? You start craving sugar, you start craving salt, you start craving all of that stuff. Why? Because your body knows that sugar is the quickest form of energy that it can get. Because you've got type 2 diabetes. And that's what type 2 diabetes is. At its core, you strip it all the way back. It's just the way your body processes energy is thrown off. It's jacked up. That's it. So then you go satisfy those cravings, and then you go eat junk food. It turns into glucose, a lot of glucose. Your pancreas kicks into high gear, releases it from your beta cells. The insulin comes out, attaches to the receptor, but the receptor says, we're full. The cells say we're full, so now you got to store it as fat. You got to store the energy, because this is what glucose is, it's energy. You got to store it as fat. So when you store it as fat, you automatically get tired, you automatically get hungry, and you automatically get sugar cravings. Because your body, you're tired because you don't have energy. You're hungry because you don't have energy. So your body's like, eat. And then you get cravings because the quickest form of energy that you can get is sugar, right? So you go satisfy those cravings, and then the whole process just keeps going like that every day. It's just a repeat, and you do this every day. And then eventually, you become so freaking insulin resistant that you got to have a third-party insulin. That's what happens. That's a domino effect. It's a vicious cycle. So insulin resistance is a vicious cycle. But you can fix it. You can fix it based on the foods that you're eating. That's how you fix it. You always go back to the beginning. You always go back to the beginning. That's how you fix it. Is fasting part of the challenge? I teach you how to fast. We train you how to fast, right? It's a reset. So first, are we fasting right away? No, because if you have type 2 diabetes, so one thing that you don't want to do is start fasting right away. You're gonna fast, but not right away. Right? You got to ease into it. Ease yourselves into it. Because if you just go straight out the gate, boom, man, your body's not gonna like it. You're gonna start getting hangry. You know, hangry and angry. So, but yes, fasting is part of the challenge. It is part of it. We do a very, very specific style of fasting. It is part of the challenge. We're going to ease you into it. We're just focusing on the food. So let's just focus on the food because you got to reset your blood sugar. That's it. That's the 14 days. Is this making sense on what insulin resistance is, folks? Insulin resistance. Is there any questions on what insulin resistance is? Any questions? Insulin resistance. Any questions on insulin resistance? Is it clear on what insulin resistance is and how do you defeat it? You go back to the food that we're eating. That's where it all starts. Makes sense to me. Yeah. Sugar. Ain't worry about sugar. So if this is making sense to y'all folks on what insulin resistance is, put a healthy yes in the chat. I need to know before we move on. I gotta make sure because we only got about 35 more minutes left on the slide. So if you want to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, now is the time to join. That's 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You use the discount code, the live discount code, progress. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Is there anybody that this didn't make any sense to? Like, yo, I don't understand insulin resistance anymore. Yeah. Okay, here's what I'll do, folks. I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna go use a little boys' room, but I'll be back. In the meantime, folks. There's no questions on insulin resistance. Usually no one usually has questions on insulin resistance. I told you we're putting that to bed. Here it is right here. I want y'all to go grab all the goodies. So if you click here, click on my picture again. It'll take you, click here, click on my picture again, it'll take you to that link right here, TikTok profile. Click on that. All the goodies are there, folks. Download yourself the Ultimate Veggie Guide. If you do not have the Ultimate Veggie Guide yet, what are you waiting for? If you don't have the Ultimate Veggie Guide, download it. Come on. You know what I mean? What are you waiting for? It's my gift to you. Download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. Absolutely free. There's a masterclass, absolutely free. But here's the big one right here. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is for my folks. Like I said, you are ready for serious change. If that's you, if you are ready to be one of the protesters in 2026 against insulin resistance, because we're protesting insulin resistance and high blood sugar and type 2 diabetes in 2026. Over 450 people have joined this challenge. Now, it is a nutrition blueprint designed by me. Ready to take control? If that's you, you join this challenge. It's normally $99 to join the challenge. But while I'm live, which I'm live right now, you use the discount code Progress. Progress is the discount code, 20% off. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You show up, you do the work, you do it again the next day. That's the requirement to join the challenge. You just got to be ready to show up and do the work, do it again the next day. Part of taking all the guesswork out of it. What to eat, when to eat, that's all it's done. The structure, that's all it's done. All you got to do is the work. You log in, get your marching orders, and get to work. Okay? I'll be there in the community if you need help. I'm there. Use the discount code. Progress, folks. All right, I'll be back in a minute or two. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about, I don't know what we'll talk about next, but we're going to talk about something related to insulin resistance. We'll be back. All right, folks, we're back. we're back. Let's see. I'm trying to get into the last page that we showed that you could not do it. You say you're trying to get into Lucky. You say I'm trying to get into the last page you showed and could not do it. Which last page? Which one? This one here. And you go here, click there. There it is. Talking about 14-day challenge. That's the last one right there. That's the last one. And then you hit right there, accept the challenge. Boom. It should take you right there. If it's not, man, check your browser. Check your browser. But it's working like a champ. Maybe try different browsers, but dang, you're in there. We're in there. Okay. All right. Any questions on anything that we covered so far? No questions. No questions on insulin resistance. Everybody got it knocked out. All right, cool. That's insulin resistance. Let me see what's next. We're talking about the blood sugar roller coaster. This is a shorter live today. We ain't on very long today. Let's talk about this thing that we're trying to get you off of. It's called the blood sugar roller coaster. Do that again, please. So if you click here, click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that page. Last time I'll show you. And then we're gonna get to the other one. Right here. That link, and then it's going to take you to 14-day blood sugar reset challenge right there. Boom. That's it. And accept the challenge right there. There it is. All the info right there. Okay. Let's get into the next one. Blood sugar roller coaster. This is what we're trying to get you off of. You're doing the 14-day challenge. This is what we're going to get you off of. We're going to get you off of this, what's called the blood sugar roller coaster. I'm going to draw some stuff up here on the board. I'm going to put some numbers. Folks, who knows what the blood sugar is supposed to be? Like, what's your average blood sugar? Like where should it be? Who knows where it should be? The readings. You know what the readings are? Put it in the chat. The ideal readings. Put it in the chat. Under 100. There you go. Under 100. There you go. There you go. Under 100. 99. All right. There it is. You're right. Under 100. It should, ideally, you want your blood sugar, your fasting blood sugar, when you wake up in the morning, between 70 and 100. That's what you want. Somewhere between 70 and 100. And when you eat, you don't want it to go very high as well. So here's the thing. Let's just say if you eat, this is 70 and 100. So you want your blood sugar to stream along like between there like all the time. Like that's where you want your blood sugar. It's nice and normal. You may here and then you may eat some food, right? And then it'll go up a little bit, but then it'll come right back down. That's how it's supposed to, within 2 hours. That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, between 70 and 100. That's how it's supposed to work. You see, here's what happens. Who can tell me, folks? We talked about this a little bit earlier. But what happens whenever you eat? What happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat carbohydrates? Whenever you eat carbohydrates, things like rice, things like pasta, things like lasagna, things like donuts, things like ho-ho Twinkies and all that stuff, what happens to your blood sugar? Yeah, it goes up. Why am I dizzy, eye pain, and forehead when sugar is 120? Well, 120 is not normal. You're talking about between 70 and 100, right? Between 70 and 100. You're in the pre-diabetic range. it might be developing insulin resistance. So here's what happens, folks. Whenever you eat carbohydrates, especially in the morning, when you wake up, who wakes up with their blood sugar high in the morning? You wake up with your blood sugar high in the morning, put a me in the chat. You just wake up, you're like, yo, I've been fasting all night. I haven't eaten in like, I don't know, 16 hours, but then I wake up and my blood sugar's high. Like, I don't know why. Who wakes up like that? How do I join? You click that, you click here, and then you click on my picture again. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. So you click here, click on my picture again. All right? It's going to take you to that page. Click that link in my bio. Use the discount code progress. Join 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Yeah, me. Someone says me and my husband. Yeah. I feel bad when I'm at 100. I feel bad I feel real bad when I'm at 100. Me, usually 148. Okay, yeah, those are high. Those are high numbers. Ideally, you want to wake up with it being about 85. Who would love to wake up in the morning and their blood sugar is at an 85? The reason that your blood sugar is high in the morning is because it's called the dawn phenomenon. The dawn phenomenon wakes up. Everybody has high blood sugar in the morning. But if you're insulin resistant, your blood sugar is going to be higher than everybody else's. Blood sugar is going to be higher than everybody else's because you're insulin resistant. You get what I'm saying? So it's why you wake up in the 120s and the 140s and the 150s and the 200s. You ain't even eating. It's because it's called the dawn phenomenon. Everybody's going to have high blood sugar. Nature's way of saying, wake it up, wake up. Give you more energy. Glucose, that's energy. Get up. That's why you have high blood sugar in the morning. Your insulin resistance is going to be high. Headache. My doctor always says my sugar isn't too bad because it never goes over 200 after eating. Max. Your blood sugar should never be over this right here. Max. 140. Ideally, you want it between 70 and 100, but even after you eat, it shouldn't go above 140. And if it is above 140, it should be like maybe like about 5 or 10 minutes or something. It's gonna be like 10 minutes, and it's gonna come right back down. Ideally. So if you're saying that 200 already, 200 is up there. I don't know if that's not too bad. I gotta disagree with the doctor now. I'm not a doctor, it's not medical advice, but I just gotta disagree. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? My blood sugar be around 59 when you get up in the morning. Yup. That's called hypoglycemia. Yup. I need your help. Thank you. If you need help, you join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What's the difference between type 1 and type 2? Type 1 is an autoimmune condition, insulin dependent. You don't make insulin anymore. Type 2 means that you have too much insulin. Too much insulin, and your cells are not listening anymore. We just did type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, a second ago. That's what it is. 59. She can pass away when it gets too low. Yeah. Yeah, when it gets too low, yeah. When it gets down to 0, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. It's to be taken very, very seriously. My blood sugar is 188, 181 fasting. Yeah. That's called insulin resistance. How do you bring your sugar reading down? Number one, if you can join the 14-day, I would recommend you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is what I would recommend, right? This is what I would recommend. You become one of those folks who are protesting insulin resistance in 2026. Over 450 people are part of that protest, or you're going to be one of the next ones to join the protest against insulin resistance by joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I'm going to do your challenge. Thank you for offering help. I've been looking for no BS help. If you're looking for no BS help, you found it. You have found it, because the one thing I don't do is BS. I tell jokes, but I don't BS. Where do I get the challenge? Well, you get the challenge is linked in my bio. It's linked in my bio. So if you click here, if you click on my name where it says 4,500, and then you click on my picture again, my face, click on my face again, then take you to my page. That link in my TikTok bio. You click on that link, you use that discount code progress. Then it's $79 to go on the 14-day challenge. That's the live discount code, 40% off. Everything else is free on the page. The challenge is the only thing that I got to charge you for, folks, because I want you to take it serious. If I give it to you for free, this life changing, this is going to be life changing. This is going to be one of those things you do in your life. You're like, yo, I'm glad that I did that for 14 days. That's one of those. It's going to be one of those life altering things that you do, and you can look back and be like, yeah, what was the change? What was the pivot point? Oh yeah, it was the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. When it came to defeating type 2 diabetes, what was the changing point? It was January. What's today? January 27th. You joined the challenge today. January 27th was the day that I decided to protest insulin resistance. That was the day. January 27th, 2026. 14 days. You're gonna look back at those 14 days and you're like, your life will never be the same. Join the challenge, use the discount code progress. So let me see. That's how you join the challenge. Link in my bio. So should we talk to a doctor about insulin if we still, so the question is, so should we talk to a doctor about insulin if we still go 180 with metformin, or do we do the challenge first? I'm not the doctor, it's not medical advice. I can't give you a doctor to tell you to get on your medicine or get off your medicine. But what I can tell you is folks who have joined the 14-day blood sugar, some folks who have gone back to their doctor and they've been taken off of their insulin by their doctor in 14 days. And I see if I'll answer your question that way. There's many people who have joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. They come on the live and they share their story and they say what happened at their doctor's visit. Their doctor took them off of their meds. Insulin, the metformin, you name it. But that's a conversation between you and your doctor. I can't take you off your medicine. I'm just telling you what some of the results are. People join the challenge. I have 144 over 91. For your blood pressure, no, that is not good. That is not good. What do we get with the $79? Well, you get the blueprint. You get the blueprint. You get everything that you need as far as what to eat. You get the shopping list. You get the recipes. You get guidance on what to eat, when to eat. It's a digital masterpiece. It's all you hold it in your hand. Okay. You log in, and then you're in the community. You join the community. There's other people just like you inside this community. They can ask questions. Talk to me. It's a blueprint. That's what you get. You get the keys to the castle to unlocking your diabetes freedom. And it's over with 14 days. That's what you get. Structure. Direction. Okay, where do I go? Right here. That's what you get. And then at the end of those 14 days, your life will never be the same. That's what you get. Freedom. Yes, you answered my question. Shout out to you. Quite well. Okay. Now, back to the blood sugar roller coaster. I'm trying to get into it, but y'all will come up with the question. I'm trying to get it. It's all good. Blood sugar roller coaster works like this. You want your blood sugar to be about 85 when you wake up in the morning. That's perfect. But what happens whenever you eat some breakfast and you eat a donut for breakfast? You eat a donut for breakfast, or you eat a whole Twinkie, or some ding dongs, or some cereal for breakfast. Man, what's going to happen to your blood sugar? Well, I can tell you what's going to happen to your blood sugar. It's going to shoot up like a rocket. That's what's going to happen. It's going to shoot up like a rocket. And when it comes, that's when you start getting energy and all that stuff. But when it comes down, what happens then? What happens? So as quickly as it goes up, quickly it's going to come down, right? Quickly it's going to come down. So when it goes up, it's going to come down very, very fast. So folks, When it's coming down very, very fast, guess what happens? That's when you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings, right? Remember that? You get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. Remember that? You crash. That's it. When you start to crash, that is when you start getting tired, hungry, craving. Insulin resistance is way up here, right? Because insulin has come in and it caused your blood sugar to go down very, very fast. So that's called a spike and a crash. You don't want that. So that's at about 10 a.m. Okay, so then if you're at the office at 10 a.m., then what do you next? What do? Well, you go grab something out of the vending machine, right? And what are you grabbing out of the vending machine? Maybe a Snicker bar, maybe I don't know, or maybe you got some coffee that you've been drinking, and all of that stuff. You go get a snack, and guess what happens? Well, your blood sugar goes back up again, right? Goes back up again. Then what happens? Well, quickly as it goes up, then it's going to do what? It's going to crash. Now it's lunchtime. It's lunchtime, and guess what happens now? Now you go out to lunch with your coworkers. Y'all go out to maybe the buffet or whatever, somewhere. Maybe you go to Popeyes or something, and you go get a biscuit where then you put the honey on top of the biscuit, then you got the red beans and rice, and then you got the chicken, the fried chicken there, and it's all cooked in all types of white flour, and then it's just causes your blood sugar to go wacky. That's at lunchtime. So you eat that, and then guess what happens? Then your blood sugar goes back up again. Okay. Then it starts to, guess what? Come down again. Folks, who can tell me at about 3 p.m. at the office? Let's just say if you're at the office and it's 3 p.m., what's going to happen, folks? Put it in the chat. What happens at 3 p.m. at the office when, um, what happens at 3 p.m.? You're hanging out in your cubicle and it's 3 p.m. What happens? Put it in the chat, folks. I'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back. You crash, you get sluggish, ready to go home and pass out. You get sleepy. That's it. You get sleepy. That's it. You get sleepy. Or you want another snack, right? It's called that 3 p.m. crash. So this is a visual of what's happening. So 3 p.m. So then what do you do at that point? Well, you go to the break room because your coworker who loves to freaking bring the donuts, she loves the donuts. Like, oh, I love the donuts so much. She brings the donuts and you see one of those donuts and you grab one out of the box and you put one in the microwave for 9 seconds. Not even 10 seconds. You got to get the timing right. 9 seconds. You put it in the microwave for 9 seconds. And then you take it out and it's just so moist. Right? You heat it up. And then guess what happens? Your blood sugar goes back up. And then you have a soda with it too. You have a Sprite with it. And then your blood sugar goes right back up. So then it's going to start to come down again. Now you're home and it's dinner time. And it's 7 p.m. Now what? Yeah, grab a Coke or a Pepsi, coffee, exactly. You get sleepy, yup. You ready to go home, yup. 7 p.m., okay, you're home now. You're home now, and it's dinner time. Well, what's for dinner, folks? Who can tell me what's for dinner? Put it in the chat. What's for dinner? What's for dinner, folks? So like a typical, what's it, Tuesday night? What's for dinner, folks? Well, put it in the chat tonight. Put it in tonight. Don't keep it real, folks. You got to keep it real. On my live, this is what we do. We keep it real. What is for dinner tonight, folks? Maybe some potatoes. So some potatoes. Somebody said pizza. Somebody said some pasta, chicken, some lasagna, right? Chicken, broccoli, and rice, spaghetti, tacos, tacos, pizza, rice and chops, mashed potatoes and yams, you know what I mean? Sauteed veggies and pork meat, injera, northern Vietnamese, right? People are eating some stuff tonight. So what's gonna happen is you eat a lot of the stuff that y'all are naming out right there. What's gonna happen is your blood sugar is gonna go back up again and go back up again, and then as quickly as it goes up, if you eat all that stuff, now what's gonna happen? Now it's 9:15 at night. You had dinner at 7. Now it's 9:15. You watching your favorite Netflix show. You're watching your favorite Netflix show, and you just like it's Netflix time. Because you're winding down for the day. You watching your show. What do you need to go with your show? Like, what goes with your show? Because you ain't just watching the show. You gotta have something that goes with it. What goes with the show, folks? What goes with the show? Ice burger, fries, steak. I want it. Wow. Ice cream, chips. Yeah. Popcorn, snacks. Ice cream. Yeah. Popcorn, juice, chips. Yeah. Yeah. You go to the freezer and you just go get like the biggest bucket of butter pecan ice cream that you can think. It's like butter pecan ice cream. Haagen Dazs. Right? So you eat that because your blood sugar came down again. So you eat that snack, and it's 9:15, and then your blood sugar goes back up. Now that you got a problem. Now it's freaking bedtime. It's bedtime. It's just like I don't know, 10 o'clock. Let's say your bedtime's at 10:15. It's bedtime, but you got high insulin. Your blood sugars are like a because you just ate that ice cream. So your blood sugars at like we'll say 300, right? Your blood sugar's at 300, we'll say, okay? Because you just ate a big old bucket of Haagen Dazs. Now, what's next? What's next then? If you just ate your blood sugar, you go to it's three. Your blood sugar's at 300, but it's bedtime. What do you do now, folks? Tell me what's next? If your blood sugar's at 300, it's time to go to bed. Then what? What's next, folks? Put it in the chat. Sometimes brandy, okay. Sometimes somebody be on that drink, okay. I got you. Alcohol is not good for folks with type 2 diabetes. I'll just keep it real. Alcohol is not going to be your friend. It's not going to be your friend on that one. Not me though. I stopped this one and all of that stuff. Okay. Any guesses, folks, on what happens? What do you do next? Like if your blood sugar is at 300, like what are we doing? Okay. Okay. Some folks might no answer. So some folks just might go to bed. Some folks might, you know what I mean, they might use some insulin. They might say, all right, fast acting insulin or something, right? To make my blood sugar go down quickly, right? So all right, my blood sugar will go down. So what happens then at about 3 a.m., folks? The day's not over with. The day's almost over, but what happens at 3 a.m.? Put it in the chat, folks. What happens at 3 a.m.? Let me guess on what happens at 3 a.m. with the folks. Put it in the chat. 3 a.m. Okay. You guys are quiet. You guys are quiet bunch. All good. No worries. So here's what I'll leave this. All right. Okay. Goes down. Bottoms out. Your body wakes you up. That's it. That's the answer I'm looking for right there. I don't know who it is. Somebody's blacked out, but yeah. Your body will wake you up. Because why is your body going to wake you up? Because your blood sugar is crashing. Your blood sugar is crashing probably because maybe you just took a whole bunch of insulin, and it causes your blood sugar to come down real slow. I mean, real fast, and then you wake up. You ever wake up like, huh? You wake up like in a panic mode, and then your spouse is looking at you like, yo, why you thinking like that? Why you? What's going on with you? That's what your spouse is saying. What's up with you? What? Why are you looking like that? What? Because your blood sugar is crashing. So you gotta wake up. So your body's like, it sends out adrenaline right away. Get your ass up. When you wake up like that, that's adrenaline saying, get your ass up now. Because we don't want it. If it goes too low, we know what happens. If it goes too low, you know what I mean? So your body's like panic mode. Wake up, 3 a.m. So here's the thing. Here's what happens. Human beings are the only one that it's not the day's not even over with yet. Human beings are the only one that's so glutton for punishment. That's crazy, right? Please, did you say alcohol is not good for diabetes type 2? I did say that. I said type 2 diabetes, insulin. Alcohol is not good for anybody, but it's especially not good for folks with type 2 diabetes. I'll say that especially. You got insulin resistance, you got diabetes. Alcohol is not going to be there. But here's the thing, folks. Human beings are so glutton for punishment. We've got the choice to choose this whole thing over again. So we will, and we'll do it again the very next day. Human beings. We're the only species that are just like so glutton for punishment. There's no other species that is glutton for punishment like we are. We've got the ability to change this, but we choose not to. So we wake up the very next day again, and then we have that same kind of breakfast, a very, very sweet breakfast. It causes our blood sugar to shoot up and then fall, and then we have another sugary snack, and then it shoots up, and then it falls, and then lunchtime comes, and then we go grab some Popeyes from lunch or whatever, and then it falls again, and then you get that 3 p.m. crash, right? And then you're like going home, I'm tired, going home, and then you get home and you have some lasagna, you have some pizza, you have some spaghetti, right? And then your blood sugar goes back up again, and then it starts falling down, and then now you're watching Netflix, and you get hungry, and you get it's snack time, so you go grab that snack, and then it's bedtime, and then your insulin's high, and then you have maybe some insulin at bedtime, the baby go down, and then you wake up at 3 a.m. in a panic mode, and then you go back to sleep, and then you wake up the next day and you do it again. Okay? It's called the blood sugar roller coaster. Doesn't that look like a roller coaster? You see it? Mm-hmm. Roller coaster. It's what we stay trapped in. We're trapped in a blood sugar roller coaster. So, folks, if this is making sense to you on what the blood sugar roller coaster is, and if you're ready to get out of this blood sugar roller coaster, you're ready to get off of the blood sugar roller coaster once and for all. You say, damn it, I've had it with the roller coaster. I mean, that's it. You're ready to protest insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes and the roller coaster and all that in 2026. Then this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is all you need to make. You've been had type 2 diabetes for many, many years. And you've been on this roller coaster for many, many years. You go to 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is going right here. See right here? This is going to be your stop. It's going to be your last stop. You ain't going to do this over again. You see the process? You start and you just do it over again? No. At the end of the 14-day challenge, we're stopping. We're cutting the rope right here. That's it. We're removing that. That's it. Right there. We're severing the tie. We're not going to do it again. We're going to get you off the roller coaster. This is your stop. This is the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is your stop. During this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you're going to get yourself off of that roller coaster. Right? Everything's structured. All you got to do is show up, do the work. You do it again the next day. You want to join this challenge. That's you. You're ready for change. If you're ready to get off of this roller coaster, you use that live discount code, progress. That is how much time we got? 2 minutes. Use that live discount code. We're out. And then that's how you do the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you get ready to get out of it. That's what I need to say. Does insulin resistance cause dizziness. It can, right? Insulin resistance can be the cause of a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of everything related to insulin resistance. If you are insulin resistant, it is the most important hormone in the body. It literally affects everything that must go through insulin. Everything, everything must go through insulin. Dizziness included. Okay. Any questions? Does this blood sugar roller coaster make sense to y'all folks? Put it healthy as does this blood sugar roller coaster make sense? I have a question. Okay, cool. Things that say sugar free but says sugar has alcohol in it and the same as sugar. Things that say sugar free, number one, are those if it says sugar free, like there's no sugar in it, okay. That usually means that there's no sugar in it, but it means that there's artificial sugar. You get it and it tastes sweet. That means there's artificial sugar in it. And you don't want artificial sugar. Aspartame, sucralose, you know what I mean, sweet and low and all that stuff. Anything with diet, Coke Zero, and all that stuff. You don't want any of that. Sugar alcohol, though, okay, right? But so sugar alcohol, things like then you'll get some stiffness. It's gonna have some sugar alcohol in it. Monk fruit, maybe even the allulose. So stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the three sweeteners that you use. We're not using honey, folks. So no honey. You got type 2 diabetes. No honey, no maple syrup, no none of that stuff. You know what I mean? You stay as far away from that as you possibly can, because that's just gonna spike your blood sugar. Agave, whoo, spike your blood sugar. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Shout out to you for joining that challenge. Check your email, check your text messages. Your life is never going to be the same. I promise you, it's never going to be the same. You're part of the select few. There's only a select few of people. Only about 5% of the people that are presented with the fix to reverse type 2 diabetes will actually do it. I can't get this thing to stop. Okay, there we go. Couldn't get my timer to stop. Okay. The very small percentage of the people who are, say, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, I'm done with you. There's only a very small percentage of people who will actually do the work that's required. Because it's going to be an uphill battle. You can do it, but it's going to be an uphill battle. And when people start, when it starts getting reversing type 2 diabetes, when it starts getting hard, and some people are going to be like, oh, hell no, this is not the uphill battle that I want. No, no. Reverse type 2 diabetes, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be like you and Rocky and Mr. Chief in Rocky 3, you know what I mean? Clubber Lane. Or Rocky when he fought the Russian in Rocky 4. It's going to be a battle. But you're going to come out on top. And when you start with this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is round number 1, okay, of defeating type 2 diabetes starts 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Yes, Splenda, trash. You don't want that. Join. Shout out to you. Join the challenge. Rika, shout out to you. Check your email. Check your text messages. You're in the United States. Check your text. You have a text. Join the community. You're going to be in the community. So shout out to you. How do I order the challenge? You click that link in my bio. So if you click here and then you click on my picture again, it will take you to that link in my bio. So you know what it is. So if you click here, click on my picture again. Thanks, you always inspire me to do better. Shout out to you, Grandma Ford. Shout out to you. Shout out to the 4 grannies, grandkids. So here we go right here. So if you click here, you click on my picture again, it will take you right here. This is all the goodies are, folks. Disney World. Hey, I know a thing or two about Disney World. And this, because I grew up in Disney. I pretty auditioned to be Mickey when I was a kid, but I didn't get the role because I was too tall. And I'm only 5'2". But when I tell you that this is Disney World, this is Disney World. You got the ultimate veggie guy right here. Absolutely free. What veggie should I be eating? Yeah, those are the veggies you can be eating. You can book a call. Someone asks, can I book a call? Yeah, you can book a call right here. And then there's a master class. It's a free master class you can watch, you can register for. But that's all free stuff. But the big one is right here. It's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is my folks who are ready to get themselves off of that roller coaster. You ready to get yourself off of that roller coaster once and for all and join the protest against insulin resistance in 2026? If that is you, if you're one of those protesters, hanging up, holding up your sign. This is your This is the sign you're going to protest with. You're going to be outside of headquarters of insulin resistance, and you're going to be protesting with those signs. And hell no, insulin, you gotta go. Hell no, insulin, you gotta go. Insulin resistance, you gotta go. Hell no. Those are those folks. Only a select few folks. And that's if you're one of those folks, you want to be one of those protesters, you join this challenge. You use that discount code, progress. That's the discount code. You join the 14-day challenge. So we're getting ready to get out of here. Shout out to my guy Chops. Shout out to you, boss. But we're getting ready to get out of here, folks. And I'll leave y'all with this. Leave y'all with this. Probably every time I say this on the live, it's very, very controversial. But it's the truth, though. It's the truth. You're quite welcome. It's the truth. But living with type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. It's a personal choice. Sounds harsh to say, but it is. Even if you got it, maybe you got a sickness, or maybe the pandemic caused you to have type 2 diabetes, or maybe like it was insulin or steroids, maybe. You know what I mean? I get it. That's unfortunate. I get it. But at the end of the day, once you get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, it can still be reversed. You're just gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to try. You're gonna have to evaluate. You're gonna have to refine. You're just gonna have to keep on doing that. Learn. It's a process, right? It's a framework. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. First you learn, then you try what you just learned, and you evaluate the results from what you just tried, and then you refine. After you evaluate, you refine. So it gets better. And then the next time you learn, you try, you evaluate, you refine until eventually you get it. Until eventually you figure it out. It's called the reset loop. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. That's it. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. That's how you defeat type 2 diabetes. Learn, try it. No matter how you got it. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. Keep doing it. And keep showing up. Keep doing the work, and keep doing it again every day. Do it every day. And you'll defeat type 2 diabetes. So you have a choice, folks. Just like how I had a choice. You got the choice. So here's the thing. When we're born, we look like our parents. But when we die, we look like our children.